Hey everybody, welcome to episode 175 of Tactical Crouch. Kickedtripod here with Yiksa and Volamel. We've got a ton to talk about today. It's only been 5 days, but a lot has happened since then.
True.
A lot's going to be happening this next week. Big,
True.
busy, scary week for
True.
Overwatch. So we're going to jump right into it. Let's get into the housekeeping really quick. If you like the show, come join us live Wednesdays at noon, presumably. That might change after next week. I don't know. But right now, Wednesdays, we'll let you know where the stream's at and all that kind of stuff. But currently it's at twitch.tv/Kickedtripod. And that's at noon Pacific if you want to come join us for that. Big thank you to our patron producers, Refined Bean, Ferdino, Battlecrab Lotion, Rex Zane, Sir Girthalot, Porkchop Sammy, Kasha67, Shar, Nathan Your Misery, Fabled Steven, Roger B, Chris R34444, Bronzebot, Boo How, Hotel Bravo 11, Hunter Tane, Yiska's Opera Scented Shower Gel, and Chonk. Thanks so much. Love you guys. Appreciate you. If you like the show and you want to support it, go to patreon.com/tacticalcrouch. It's a great place to support. Can we do one more like Jackbox style game night?
Yeah, for sure.
Whatever you want.
We'll do that probably next week then. And
I'm off work next week as well.
Perfect.
So
Sweet.
we
We can
getting
go,
that
go hard.
that alcoholic juice for that week.
Yeah. We'll go hard then. Cool. All right. Well, let's make sure. I was making sure that the music I had in my headphones wasn't going through anywhere else, so we didn't get run into issues there. Let's start talking about the stuff and the things, and that is going to be tomorrow. Actually, well, there's a few things coming up, but tomorrow we have a PvP live stream that highlights Overwatch 2. And that's about all the information that I know and have on that. But is there anything else that's been like falling through the cracks on this that I've missed?
Not that I've seen.
Not really. I know Mr. X, I think, is going to sit down with.
Yeah, I think he's going to be asking the dev team about, some of the changes and going to be taking questions. I know he kind of, I saw Yiksa reply to one of his tweets, like, hey, pitch me some questions that I can ask, and I'll try to do my best type of comment. So I guess running into like the feelings of it, like I was kind of surprised in a number of ways with what they said during BlizzCon line, or some of the things that they didn't necessarily say. A little bit of good and bad. Didn't particularly care for the lack of comments about Overwatch 2, but what they did say was very interesting about the removal of 2CP, about these like random passives that apparently are going to be a thing. The theory that sure. I actually don't think it was for PvE. I think it was for PvP specifically. I think it was during the PvP specific section that they were talking about like tanks having less knockback.
Oh yeah,
having those specific
if
passives.
you're talking about that, yes.
I think that's very interesting. So hopefully getting some more fleshing out of that, having them kind of expand on what else they've got, if anything. But yeah, I guess I feel like I'm coming into this without much expectations, but like we'll be pleasantly surprised, because so far it's been kind of interesting. They seem to be open to like really overhauling a lot, and really kind of tinkering around again. Like, is 5v5 going to be a thing? I don't know. Was it just kind of a coincidence with what you were, I think it was you and one of the guys in Discord were saying, Yiksa. So yeah, I really don't know what to expect. I think it's going to be really hard for them to like do anything negative, if that makes sense. Just because like it's such.
I said that about BlizzCon though.
True.
Just walked away with a bunch of disappointment.
Yeah, there was a lot of there was a lot of nothing burger to BlizzCon, but there were a few things that I was like, okay, that's interesting at least. So hopefully we'll get some more of that. Obviously the new gameplay with the new hero Sojourn and push and whatnot, that'll be kind of interesting. Obviously they've got like the whole soundscape redone and whatnot. That's cool. Maybe showing that off a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, it's tough to exactly tell what to expect right now with Overwatch 2. If it's coming soon, I don't know. It's bizarre.
I think it'd be coming that soon, right? Like
I can't imagine.
We pretty much know it's not coming in 2021.
Yeah.
So.
But maybe, I mean, I dare say release date. But yeah.
Maybe a release season.
Yeah, sure. Like a
early
projected
2021 or something like that, or summer
2022.
2022. Yeah.
It feels weird being in 2021.
I know.
I guess it could be late 2021, but yeah, I'm not sure.
That would be really aggressive, I think.
That'd be very aggressive.
But then again, like Jeff Kaplan's gone. We don't know if he was hindering that process of moving forward, and the Activision just ship it and update it later thing is the way to go. Or maybe it's the other way around and they want to take a little more time on it than Jeff wanted, which I don't think is probably the case.
Yeah, something tells me that
I just don't want to, there's potential on both sides here.
For sure. Definitely.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know what to, I don't know what I want out of tomorrow to walk away feeling better about Overwatch or just excited or whatever. I don't know what that entails.
Theoretically, there could be some bombs. Theoretically, it could be an absolute nothing burger for the esports crowd because it's strictly about PvP, and it could just be about ranked systems and like, I don't know, like you can select maps or whatever in solo queue. Yeah, that would be exciting, but not really for the esports specifically. Yes, there's a lot of crossover with people. Yeah, but like theoretically, it could be really unexciting for strictly esports viewers, because it's a PvP stream. Basically, like PvP stream means everything that Overwatch is now at the moment, right? So it could be about quick play. I don't know what it could be about, right?
Right. Yeah. PvP.
It could be an absolute hammer, and he just goes, "Yeah, by the way, we got rid of one tank slot, and then." We got the scene on lock basically, but would be a terrible point to announce that, by the way. Just like atrocious, just like main tanks or off tanks just sitting there playing their last season, just going like, I can't aim for shit, boys. Like, yeah.
At this point, I think anything's on the table. With again, with what they've kind of teased so far, I'm willing to play with the idea that 5v5 could be coming. I'm ready to kind of play with the idea that removing the ability to swap your hero could be coming. At this point, I think anything's on the table. Anything and everything. So we will see. I agree with a lot of what you're saying. It could just be quick play changes, algorithmic stuff.
I think
ranked updates, rewards, stuff like that, which is cool. I'm glad that if people are cool with it and like it, but yeah,
I think most esports people though understand that a healthy esports scene stems from a healthy like game itself. So
100%.
Like if you're going in tomorrow expecting to get like Overwatch League updates, I think you've kind of set yourself up wrong in the beginning, right? But to know and understand the gameplay improvements that are going to be happening to make Overwatch a game that you want to play and not just watch, I'm really like, if there's a way that they can demonstrate that tomorrow, like I could totally see me being really jazzed about it. But it's a tall order right now.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Would be interesting.
I don't think. I mean, I know that PvP is going to be technically free to play, right? With Overwatch 2, like you can just play it regardless. You're buying Overwatch 2 for like the story mode missions and stuff like that, the customization and whatnot. So perhaps it could be like tied in with monetization and how they plan on like moving forward with that, just because it's like the first one where it's like, hey, push to free to play. I guess it's kind of already is.
That's like that could be an announcement tomorrow
In itself,
for all of PvP, and that would give it a little kick right at this time.
For sure.
That would be once again weird timing. You want that probably in the preseason if you can't help it. Maybe esports is just not that big of a concern. At the same time, like I was thinking about how Hero Pools was almost strictly an esports feature that had large impact on how the game was played at large. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. That's what
it with that, yeah. Without getting into the HPs, bizarre.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything else you guys want to talk about with the dev updates tomorrow? There is an AMA on the 24th, so we'll also learn more about that. Well, we should have a lot to talk about next week. But anything else you want to hit on there, or should we talk a little bit about June Joust?
I kind of hope Sojourn comes out earlier than Overwatch 2. I know I think that's already locked to not be a thing, but
it won't.
It'd be nice.
How can they keep a game on life support by going over a year and a half without a meaningful content update?
Yeah.
That's a great question.
They just did it. They just did it.
It's just insane. You see, like, Heroes of the Storm is getting updates.
Really?
What is it? The joke is Heroes of the Storm has gotten more updates this year than WoW and Overwatch combined.
Did you hear about the bill in Korea that got passed or is on the table?
Well,
there. Long story short, I don't know the logistics of it, but apparently there's a bill like I don't know if it's like Korean Senate or whatever, what have you, but there's some sort of law being passed.
I can tell you know a lot about how the
I saw like a headline. It was like, oh, interesting.
Thing works. Yeah.
Was it the HGC? It was some like big like Blizzard sanctioned like Heroes like league in Korea that just got like ripped when like esports got cut from that game. And like apparently they didn't tell anybody and they didn't like let anybody know. And now there's an actual law being passed like strictly for like video game publishers like just not informing people about their jobs leaving.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I want to know
like
more.
super interesting. Yeah, I'll actually have to read. You can't just read titles, kids.
You mean you don't have an RSS feed set up to learn more about the Checks Notes Korean Senate?
Nope. I think that's maybe where I saw Fire Element. I don't know.
Okay. Let me roast Joe a little bit. How much do you read like articles from like mainstream publications?
Never. Nearly never. Come on. I you gotta pull teeth for me to read somebody else's shit.
He just reads his own articles.
Oh, I barely do that. Come on now. I had to write the damn thing. I don't want to read it again.
Yeah. No, like
I had to suffer through that poop.
To be fair, I read more papers than I do read articles, but I still read a healthy amount of articles.
I read quest text.
I never do that. I never do that. Like I have my add-on set up.
I have Zygor. Zygor, and I just follow.
I remember. I think there was a program. It might have even been Zygor for the first time when Lord of the Rings Online came out. No, was it? No, it was Elder Scrolls Online. Elder Scrolls Online. It's Elder Scrolls Online has had no endgame. All about that it was enjoying the leveling experience, very much like you would enjoy that. Cool. Nope. Yeah. I couldn't tell you what the story was. I was just running after my arrow, waiting for the late game. I arrive in the late game and go like, oh, you can do 2 things now. Oh, that was enjoyable. Uninstall. Like,
there used to be an add-on for a while that got taken down for breaking TOS that had people voice act the quest text for you.
What? That would have made things way more interesting.
So yeah, it's
Jesus.
basically
They
the talking
TOS
heads
that?
pop up now. Yeah, they TOS'd it. I can't remember the justification of it. It was awful, dumb, stupid.
I mean,
it's
most
like-
of them these days do have like a little bit of like, you know, Anduin pop. Something's like champion.
They do, but like imagine going through and like, you know, you're just
Yeah,
like, I don't know,
especially with like classic and stuff.
in Westfall or something.
Yeah.
You're like actually like hearing people talk about, you know, it was like, it wasn't like
Mhm.
super well voice acted, but it wasn't bad
Don't
either.
matter.
It was
Yeah.
like better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it used to be there, and they're just
Huh.
like, no, you can't do that. And then so I think people speculated like,
lame.
oh, they're gonna go through and update all of the quests with voiceover. And that was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, if only.
Yeah.
That'd be a smart change, but yeah, that's not happening. Alas, alas.
I wonder if
Oh,
the
sure.
utility cost of that is like
Oh yeah,
actually
it's,
positive.
yeah, it's
stupid
definitely not a
amounts of-
good. It can't be a good return. There's
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah.
All that there's so
But somebody
many
did
quests.
it for free for you. Why would you just not
Right.
let them like?
That's
I
the
don't-
obscene part.
Yeah.
Probably
That's-
because they would monetize later on. I don't know, and then you would lose the
Then you
opportunity.
that's when you shut it down. When they start, you know,
Mhm.
breaking actually breaking TOS.
Mm.
Anyways, I don't know. This is 4 years ago. I'm basically talking out of my ass at this point, so
It is
Yeah.
what it
just
is.
not gonna go there. Let's talk about June Joust. So June Joust is coming up this weekend. We're gonna be playing on patch 1.59.1, which is the one with the Orisa, Moira, and Diva buffs.
Hmm.
But we do have hero bans or hero pools back in. No Tracer, no Sombra, no Reinhardt, no Jonek. I mean Zenyatta. Just kidding. It was a joke. So anyways, that is what we're going to be seeing. So first of all, chat, shut up. Jonak is a god and he can play multiple heroes. It's just a joke. If I
Just
see
joke.
one comment, you're just getting banned. I'm just banning you.
Jonek's my favorite player. Don't you just respect him?
Jodak plays Anna. Excuse me. Jodak plays Anna.
It's true.
Anyways,
You know that skin, right? You know that skin? That like
Yeah,
best
true.
skin in the game? Like that Zen skin?
You know, one of those only MVP skins, you know, that nobody gets anymore. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so with all of that being said, as we set up
Mhm.
for June Joust,
Yes.
Joe, give me the meta read here.
Okay. Got my funny you should mention I do have an astrology mug today. So
Probably not dual flex support.
it's dual something. It is a Gemini cup. I'm just saying. So I see
That explains
Tracer.
so much.
Shut up. I'm not a Gemini. If
Are
you
you
know my
so?
birthday, you know what I am. Thank you. Shut up now. So Tracer Sombra. Double flank
glasses.
DPS removed. I'm gonna hurt you, boy. Double flank DPS removed. I think we're going slow. I think we're going death ball-y once again. I think without tools to like actively circumvent and kind of surround and dive and really kind of set the pace, I think like things are definitely going to lean more slow. The fact that Orisa got buffed, the fact that Baptiste got changed, which I think put in like a player like Jonek's hands, is a buff. Especially with Moira as well, like you said, that getting a buff. Diva can offset that, but I don't necessarily know if that is going to be a gigantic change. I'll be interested to see if anybody actually does anything with it, but we'll see regarding like the 250 drop down call. But yeah, no flanking DPS is a big detriment. Having no Zen to kind of break tanks, that's kind of difficult. And then Rheingon, the fact that he was nerfed this patch, I was kind of hoping that we might see him not get taken out by the hero pool just to see if it was enough to push him away. But the fact that he is removed, I think, kind of a non-ban, if that makes sense. I don't know that people were going to continue to play him. Maybe they were just going to run like Orisa Rhine if he wasn't hero banned. But the fact that he is, like, maybe we get something maybe Hog kind of pushes in. There's not a ton of like really like strong barriers right now. Sigma obviously is probably the one go-to. Orisa still has that kind of dinky little shield that she throws around that does not last very long.
What is it like post 1.59.1? What was the buff on that?
Let's see. I want to say it's 600, but I could be wrong. I'm just gonna pull her up real quick. Protective barrier health 600. Yeah.
Okay.
So 600 health, especially with like a Hog buff, even though it's kind of minor. I do worry that Hog could kind of come back in. We've heard, at least I've seen, I think it was Albert, tweet like, oh, I wonder why all these main tank players are playing all this Hog on ladder. That's really weird. So maybe we go back to the old, playoff meta. Maybe it's halt hook on some maps. I think, with the new map pool, with things like Junkertown coming back in, I think there's a possibility, snipers are kind of played on specific maps. Hero pools are always hard to call, but I do see things slowing down or staying maybe at the same pace. Think of like West week 1, Ryan, Diva, McCree, not the most explosive comp. I don't think we're going to see like Dive, Echo, stuff like that. I just don't think that there's enough help or enough tools to kind of break like severe bunker setups like Orisa Sigma or just even just like Orisa Hog on like some defenses. I think will be genuinely pretty strong. So we'll see. We will see. I'm not sold either way, but I definitely feel like the game's slowing down again.
Great.
Yeah. Did you see the clip that Elevote had? Talking about the meta? I think Elevote said that in APAC it's definitely Hog all the way. And then in the Western region, everything goes. There's a wide variety of stuff that's being run. And we once again have to go through like a figuring out process, which is interesting because like inherently that's a clip that's currently on the front page of Cow. Okay. So like it's interesting because we notice that some teams are better towards the start of a stage or whatever you want to call it. We still haven't found a name for that tournament cycle. Calling it cycle now. And others that peak later. I think, for instance, Dallas is one of them, even though you could say maybe that's down to the issues that they had maybe early on, and then they only had to find themselves again. Then again, we sort of pattern that's next as well. So maybe that's a team that starts peaking later. We probably have teams. I can't name one on top of my head, but the worse you are as a team, the more you like volatility in the meta because you're likely worse at specialization down the line. And the probability of you catching like one of the top dogs off guard is vastly lower when you're playing into the known, so to speak. So yeah, that's an interesting aspect that also gives the West an interesting like combination because I think there's like theoretically speaking, like the opener to this weekend is actually pretty weak. Those are pretty weak matches, right?
Not interesting. Then
again, those could be interesting based on like maybe one of the lower teams having a better meta read than one of the stronger teams. So wouldn't necessarily miss those Friday games, even though don't come like with your like little what's it called, like the where the
comment
money's
like
on bill, the bill.
Subscribe.
Is it the bill, yeah, don't come to me with a bill trying to get like your money back on that prediction. That's not how it works. I know a lot of you guys watch this podcast in order to make money on it. And a lot of you actually have DM'd me and said you made money on this. So
Patreon.com/tacticalcrouch. Show some respect.
Casual plug.
Yeah, no, like I think if I was a betting man and if we were to assign probabilities, which we might, I think I would regress a little bit based on my certainty of how bad these teams are now in this really volatile meta.
Oh, I mean, of course, I think you have to do a complete. I would run on the safe side and do a complete reset of any kind of priors we might have.
That complete reset is a little strong, but yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
What are you predicting for Paris, Florida? Like you must
Paris,
think Florida.
Toronto?
So, oh yeah, that's how it is. Yeah.
Yeah, Paris, Toronto, London, Florida. Yeah, I think
London or even London, Florida.
I think the first one is kind of a toss up. Like I genuinely don't know. I lean Toronto, but I mean we'll get to that. But yeah, I think the style is a complete toss up. I think even with people coming out, even just a week recent, and talking about the meta, I mean we both know that that'll change. Like all three of us know that historically can flip on a dime, and Torb can come in, right? Like we've seen it in the past. We've heard it from coaches literally on this show saying like, oh yeah, some team pulled it out and it just kind of caught fire and we didn't know how to stop it, so we mirrored it, and it just kind of stuck. So at this point, yeah, I genuinely would do kind of a hard reset on a lot of teams, especially when you look at teams like Philly, teams like Houston. That's like, we did see you do well. We saw a lot of things that you can point at as intangible, but when you kind of shake things up, as much as we've seen Hero Pool shake things up in the past, and if we are going to kind of take any kind of weight in some of the things that somebody like Alivote's saying about the meta, I don't know what to expect from these teams, especially historically when they don't give you much. But then I look at a team like the Shock, team like, again, the Glads in a way. I expect them to do well. A team like the Justice, I would hope you would come out and perform, but I don't know what you look like when you put Mag on Hog, if you have to, right? Like, I don't know.
Yep.
So it's, yeah, if we're going like the full betting route, yeah, I'm tuning in Friday, kind of just excited to see what's played. Not necessarily super excited for the matches in particular. However, I'm, excited to see Druidra come out and, pop off game one. So we'll see. We'll see.
Another thing that we have access to now is strength of schedule, thanks to IBM Watson. And
True.
This has some pretty interesting pieces of information here. On the east side, here you go. Chengdu has the toughest road, playing Shanghai, Philly this weekend, by the way. And then on the 3rd through 5th, playing Seoul and then Hangzhou. Whereas the Fusion have the easiest path here, going NYXL, Chengdu, Guangzhou, Valiant. No team with the Valiant in their schedule has a strength of schedule over 100.
Pretty not good.
Think of it that way.
I wonder if this is one of those times where Valiant can come out and actually do something. Like if this is actually going to shake things up pretty hard, and Hog like is meta. Shou Chang has some history playing DPS, so is that like Hog? No, but I think there are some crossovers there. So we'll see. I don't know with Valiant. I don't expect much, but if they come out and steal a map or steal a game, I wouldn't be shocked. I think somebody's got to be real bad though. Somebody's got to be really bad, because boy howdy, those melee games were pretty hard to watch.
Dude.
Great.
There are some strengths of schedule, monster schedules in here. Like, look at the Titan schedule. Like, are they getting a point, bro?
Did you see London's?
Gladiators, Atlanta, Shock, and Dallas?
Dallas. Yeah, that's tough.
Yep.
They are not even playing in the first week, which would favor the weaker team. Yep. They are getting, ooh! Like, this is a rough one. And then, like, okay, like, this is brutal. But, like, even if I look at Mayhem's schedule, man, like, are they making a tournament, dude? I'm not 100% on that.
I'm not sure. See, that's with, I think, again, with the priors that Houston and Justice are going to be amazing or like formidable. At this point, I do not know. I genuinely could not tell you.
Keep in mind, like 2-2 barely gets you in. Even
sure,
like,
agreed.
You almost need to beat both of those teams. in order.
They need to
Right.
win 2 out of the 3, right? So assuming they beat
Yep.
London, they need to win 2 of the other 3, which
Yeah.
I think they
This is
definitely
rough.
can win one, right? So it's kind of a 50-50 on if they can win another one.
Yeah.
Jesus. I don't feel quite as bad for them as I do for London, though. Mayhem, Rain, Fuel,
Yeah.
Outlaws. Boom, 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 boom. Back to
At
back
least
to
it's
back to
early.
back. Yeah, so
At
it is
least it's
early,
early,
so
yeah.
they could potentially adapt early, but that is not.
Hopefully they come out with something.
Vancouver also has to go Gladiators, Rain, Shock, Fuel. It's
A tough one.
There's some teams. Yeah, then you have the
And you can-
Gladiators who might just waltz in here this
Dude.
time around.
It's possible. Paris, Boston, Vancouver. If I think I understand, or at least am projecting the right way with the tempo of the meta, I see London kind of thrive, or not London, but Atlanta kind of thriving. I think they do perform
Yeah.
with slower things, with things that are very death bally. That's just what historically.
Mhm.
I think it's too early to say
That
this.
tank line can do. I think it's mostly about
Yeah,
the tank line,
yeah.
right?
Agreed. I was going to pin this more on Brad, but now that you mentioned, the tank line, that makes way more sense. And even then, it feels kind of loose.
Eric already talking that real stuff. That's likely happening, I think. Like,
I mean, you said this
I
last month.
to be fair, I'm not update. Yeah, and they almost made it in. And if they make it in,
Yeah, almost as only works in horseshoes and hand grenades, bud. So I don't know what to tell you.
I never heard that one. Like, I love your little idioms with it. Dude, like nobody
sure it's
actually under
botched.
the age of 80 has
Yeah.
heard. No, but what's the schedule that the Gladiators have here? So they have
Vancouver, Atlanta, Boston,
Bro,
Paris.
that's easy. That is easy. That's the easiest, right? Yeah, that's the easiest.
Yeah, I would say
other
so.
than
It's
Fusion.
definitely,
Yeah.
that's the thing. And I said this in the preseason, right? Like the Glads have their easiest schedule, which is this one, during a hero pool. You don't want that. You want to know very comfortably what you're walking into so you can quickly just give these teams the smoke and you can be smoking that playoff pack, right?
They're chilling for the first week, right? They have the first week off, and then they can settle into a semi-figured out meta.
Hopefully there's something there that they can kind of grasp onto and just showcase what we didn't see in May. That's what has me concerned, is that they came into May. We knew exactly what we were playing. We knew what we should have done. They did not execute. There was spaghetti all over the place.
The thing is, like,
I don't doubt they were performing in scrims, but that was not the team that showed up.
Yeah. The other concern is like, basically like Super landed in Hawaii and Space was already at the beach going like, I have a month off, bro. Like we have no games for 4 weeks. Like we're chilling. Like
hopefully
this is a rough one as well. Like to be out of play for 4 weeks, man. Like I don't know.
You think that's rough?
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion that I think Overwatch is needed. I think esports is needed, especially Western esports. I don't think this is going to come across as really bad. I think the players have to work healthily, right? I think they need breaks. Does that make sense? I'm trying to dance around.
Do they need 4 weeks of break though in the mid-season?
I think with how much expectations they had, yeah, I genuinely probably would give them an extended break to like repair any kind of like boomery that was going on. Because I think you come in, and if even just a modicum of what you're saying, let alone everybody else, if there was even a touch of hint of truth to what you were saying coming in, that they were clearly the best team, performing extremely well in practice, and you come out and you showcase what they showed, that's not good. You didn't make the tournament. You're leading some people's power rankings. You're slapping people in practice and scrims. Like, that's scary. So yeah, I would say resting and kind of clearing thine heads would be a very good thing.
We'll see.
I think you look at Dallas. I think you look at Florida, especially in the melee. You come in, no practice, perform very well. I think practice is very good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying be lazy teams, but I think healthy mentalities, repairing any kind of, internal structure that doesn't have to be done in server, I think is severely at a discount right now. And I think teams need to invest. And I think a 4-week break is not that crazy.
Yeah.
Let's maybe talk about some of the big matches this weekend.
Sure.
There's a lot of blowouts, it feels like, but there's a couple of ones that might be kind of close. Again, the odds that we present here are betting odds, which means that they're not necessarily about likelihood to win, lose, as much as they are like likelihood to bet that one of them wins or loses, if that makes sense. So It's not a perfect system, but it still gives you a pretty good idea on kind of where favorability lies. Let's start with the East region for a second. I think kind of the big one, the big banger is probably going to be Chengdu versus Fusion. Right? Yeah, probably. I guess you have Chengdu versus Shanghai too. Although Shanghai is pretty heavily favored, at least from a betting odds perspective.
I think Chengdu is a little scary when it comes to hero pools that could be this weird. Just because I thought we were over this hump, Chengdu. I was fighting for you. I was, hoping that we were off the silly heroes and the funny memes and haha Chengdu zone, but after the playoffs, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure anymore. So that could be a boon for him. It's tough to say. Shanghai started last month quite slow. So maybe Chengdu comes out with something weird and they're quick to a meta and they can play ball hog. I don't know. Who knows? It's a possibility. They can do some weird stuff that I don't know that any team really can pull off. So Chengdu may just catch Shanghai looking again. I don't expect Philly to come in without being well prepared, especially after seeing them on stage the day before. So yeah, I'd say that's the kind of storyline to look out for. What New York looks like, hell if I know. Again, another team that, I don't know, just did not perform.
Can we open a side tangent here? Because I think,
Shoot, baby.
in terms of the match Florida Fusion against NYXL, right? It looks like they did something special for that match, right? In terms of, did you not catch the announcements from John Spector in terms of the Apex style production?
Oh, yeah, actually I did.
Right. So just to explain it a little bit to the viewers, basically, like John Spector announced that they would be going ahead with Apex style shit talking videos and those who haven't watched Apex, it's basically like players giving comments, spicy comments towards a particular match that they participate in order to get some stakes in the game. And it's all fun in games until a certain point. There's always an ounce of truth in these statements, which makes it fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the screenshots posted between like Jonak, sorry, Carpe, yeah, and I forgot who the second player was. But Carpe basically saying like the completely discrediting Ivy, which is pretty spicy, right? With a statement. Now, the interesting part is, and this is where I was used as a jump off point. Like I basically, can we just say like, we could have had Apex so much earlier, right?
Oh yeah,
we could have. And then like I made this tweet just going like, well, why we are copying everything else from Apex? Why don't we just get these trailers? And then John Spector jumps into the replies and says, sure, and then post on his personal Twitter like a teaser towards like a trailer showcasing NYXL against Fusion. Now, I understand this, that from a production perspective, this is really limiting at the point, right? That said, the selection of the match is a weird one. Like is it a 1-3 team against a 4-0 team? Yes, that's two teams that are technically the Western teams playing in APAC.
Yes.
It's a non-high stakes game. It's not a playoff game of any sort.
Sure.
Like you would have maybe expected that to happen at Hawaii. Hopefully it does.
No, I'm sure it will.
I'm not complaining, of course. Like I love this. It's just a weird way to premiere it, right?
Is it? I can see where they were going. I don't think it's maybe the match that I would pick if I was going like purely competitive, but I don't think that's the point. I think there is like a regional thing where it's like Philly, New York, relatively close by.
Yes, bro.
I think people do. I don't.
People, it might. Yeah.
But I think there is like a domestic regional rivalry. I think they're one of the bigger like.
You think
Western
the
teams.
same people that like Apex like intros are the guys that hate their regional rivals?
No, I don't. But I think the Apex intros are evergreen. I don't think people care about the Apex intros. They're just going to see their favorite player shit talking the other favorite players, and they're going to get big mad. And they're going to care more about the game.
I mean, I'm not against the shit talking. That's not. I'm specifically talking about the intros, right?
Sure. I don't think the intros. I think the homage to Apex is good, and I think a lot of the old heads will appreciate that. But I don't know that the format of the content is like specifically tailored to like heavily competitive viewers. Does that make sense? I think like you look at New York, very passionate fan base, very big fan base. You look at Philly, same thing. I don't think it's too crazy to say that you have two fan favorite teams.
Bro.
That this is the care, like this is what you want to give them. You want to give them more player face time, more comments, more, reason to care.
I guess. Yeah.
I think that's what they want.
Yeah.
At least that's what I see with this game. Is it going to be super competitive? I don't expect it to. If anything, I think it's going to be a cluster.
I hope it focuses on Mano, to be fair. Like
Sure.
that'd be
cool.
Yeah.
I just find it ironic that we're talking about the rivalry between New York and Philadelphia, the cities, when New York and Philadelphia, the teams, are playing from Korea.
Yeah, right.
How many Philly players or New York players on each team?
I mean, that doesn't exist in any sport. So
Right.
it's like, like how many of your premier soccer players are
Actually from Manchester. Yeah.
Dusseldorf or whatever.
Yeah, not many.
And when it
Definitely.
is, it's a pretty big deal. At least in American sports, when in like Minnesota, when you have a Minnesota boy on your team playing for Team Minnesota, you get some marketing capital from that, but really only when you're winning.
100%.
And if they're good.
Yeah. I mean, there's sometimes like in usually in the Bundesliga, like the teams have pretty good academies, and there's some boys always coming up in that regards. But I don't know. Like, yeah, I think in football it's more of a big deal than it is in esports. It's just such a global community where it's we've had this a million times, right? Like we don't really need to dissect that very. But yeah, like maybe it's an opportunity. And by the way, like RD11490 has a good point. Like maybe it's just about the proximity. You can pretty much. I'm not sure where NYXL are set up. I know that, or Christopher said in a post-match interview that they are set up in the T1 offices. Maybe they're all in Seoul. Maybe we can expect stuff with Seoul in the same vein because it's just easier to produce there. It's also probably easier to get production companies, third parties from there. So, yeah, I'm not mad at that particular thing. It's just like a weird selection, and I would have liked to see it. Like, I almost would have liked to see it premiere for Hawaii, even though the turnaround time is hard. But then again, like, theoretically speaking, and yes, you won't get the same polish that Apex had, because if you remember, like playoffs of Apex and then finals of Apex had pretty long time between them. I think it was several weeks.
Yeah.
That allowed for production. It's hard to arrive on Monday in Hawaii and then have
Jump into an interview. Yeah.
Also have like a polished product by Friday when you start playing, right?
Yep.
So in that regard, I understand, right? Like that's really hard to turn around this quickly.
I think the polish is going to be difficult to perform, but I think if they are aiming for the Apex style, like trash talk, intro kind of a rollout, it's a format that I don't necessarily think that it needs to be all on location. I think you can, like, from my understanding, the way that it was filmed, like you would record one comment with one player, bounce to the next. They would kind of watch it, respond, give their own, and kind of have this back and forth without being there necessarily. Perhaps I'm wrong in remembering that, but I think there are ways that they can do that without being on location. But I think you touch on something regarding production, because we are getting a live event this tournament cycle. Week 8 in Asia will be played somewhat in a live capacity. I think all the Chinese teams will be playing on location somewhere. I don't know that they've necessarily announced exactly where that's going to be, but I do believe that is confirmed, while the Korean teams will be playing remotely. So I will, what will come with that, any kind of production there, I think that'd be cool. That's kind of where I expected this to roll it out to, but now that you kind of make it obvious that it's Carpe talking specifically about a player, it's like, okay, I guess that can't necessarily make sense if they don't play on week 8. So yeah, that would be a little weird. So hopefully this is a continuous thing, and hopefully it rides out the rest of the season, because again, the more like FaceTime fans get with their favorite players, or a player they might not know is their favorite yet, right? I think it's a benefit. I think it's totally good. I think the more content, the better. I think the Overwatch League has done a really good job with the content this year. For the most part, I think it's very like stylized and comedy based. It's definitely different, and I'm a big support of that. So yeah, continue, please. More is better.
Let's jump over to the west side. And I think for us, there's kind of, I think one of the big ones is, I think Houston, we kind of discussed a little bit ahead of time, but they've got a bit of an uphill battle against Atlanta and Florida. Joe, I know you wrote an article this week on Houston.
Yes, that it did.
So maybe a good primer for those matches coming up.
Yeah, more narratively, I'd say. Just looking at like some of the things that they had to go through, some of the maybe the thoughts kind of coming in for Houston. You come in, you best Dallas week 1, you end up losing to them, right? Regional rivals, a team that is meant to perform now in a meta that could just be a grab bag of heroes. Like there's a lot that Houston has to prove. And I think they will, but it is a tough ask. It almost kind of looks like a Dallas situation. I think less severe, because you don't have a player just kind of dropping like immediately before you're about to play a game. But with the amount of stuff that they have to kind of battle through, I don't think that it's a small task, let's say, for them to kind of come out and showcase, they are actually a top team and they can perform. So this is going to be, and I mentioned this in the article, this is going to be like the big litmus test for them moving forward. Like, is Houston going to be finally put on the map? We saw a great week 1. We saw a great, melee for the most part. Didn't make it in the end, but if they're going to actually stamp, Houston's here, we're a threat, you're going to have to pay attention to us all season. We're going to see that in the first hero pool.
Here's the thing, though. Regardless, Houston fans will still be talking about the first stage of season 4, like they talked about the first stage of season 1 for the next 3 seasons.
Sure. So, you got to hold on to some sort of hope. I don't disrespect them in that way.
My goal is just to make Joe spit out water. And it always has to do with Houston
you
fans.
got close.
It always has to do with Houston fans.
It's gonna happen.
So, what else then is interesting? So, I mean, on these two, do you think Houston over Mayhem, I think, is kind of the more intriguing one to me.
Yeah.
Is this something that Houston can hang? Right now, the odds have it at 61-39 in favor of Mayhem.
61-39. That feels slightly aggressive. Like, I don't know that I'd go too far above 60. If anything, for a lot of these teams, I think even like the biggest blowout feels like a 60 for me. Florida,
in this case, it's Justice
I know it's only
over
one,
over Justice over Boston is 92-8.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's a fiver right there.
And then Justice over Justice over Paris is the second at 91. So
yeah, that's
Justice
a fiver.
are favored at
I'll throw a 5 on that.
90+% in both of their matches.
That's ridiculous. No, I don't get how odds makers make their money. I won't comment, but yeah, I'd put 5 on that just for shits and giggles. But regarding Florida, they're quickly kind of becoming a team that I want to look at to kind of get a feeling for where I am. They feel like the Polaris of like the meta for me. They're always a little bit different, but like I don't think Florida really ever misses. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think they're slightly different. They lean, askew sometimes with some of their more stylistic picks. You know, Brig and 2019 week 1, Sigma especially in May, and maybe the more favoring of the dive. But I don't ever feel like Florida's like too far off the mark in the end. So I want to kind of test that with June, especially with how crazy this could look. And see where they kind of come out. If they come out strong and they kind of they got it early, they figured it out, they're trendsetters, and maybe so like almost overly so, where people don't think that, I don't know, Soldier is like the best pick, but Yaki's running around on the legs just rocketing people. I don't know, like stuff like that. But yeah, Florida Houston is going to be one of the ones I don't think anybody's going to want to miss. For a lot of the reasons that we already mentioned. Houston has a lot to prove. I do think they'll continue to put up good performances, even though it might be difficult in Florida. Yeah, I think it's high time we start thinking about this team as a top contender. And Kuki, I don't think he's missed yet. So I do expect to see a strong early performance of Florida. I guess that's an expectation I'm kind of coming into this week with.
Yeah, fair enough. What other ones are interesting to you guys? The rest of these. So here's the thing. We have 1, 2, 3 matches out of the 8 that are above or closer than 75-25. Which,
yeah, that's just nuts.
Again, like these are betting odds. They're going to be a little bit more drastic than like realistic winning odds, but it does tell the story that at least from like the perspective of Odds Portal, these are pretty high chanced one-sided matchups. Almost all of them, because if you take bump that up to 27%, there's only one match that's above 73-27 or closer than 73-27. And that's Florida versus Houston.
If I had expendable money, I'd be throwing cash down left and right on a lot of these matches. Like it is, it's you make so much money with how crazy this hero pool could look. If you've got $50 laying around, you're like, maybe I'll buy a new game. You could turn that 50 into some serious dough. Genuinely. Again,
don't lose people money, Joe.
Bet responsibly.
Yeah.
Don't be like a serial gambler.
I mean, this is more secure than crypto for sure at the moment.
100%. I'd take a valiant win for, crazy odds. Why not? I'll throw a little bit on it. Send it, right? Like things could get real weird, and I think things could get really dicey for a lot of teams people expect to do well. Again, I don't think Glads are off the hook. I think there's a big chance that they still don't have it locked down, and it's not necessarily going to be their fault this time. They could just be late to the hero pool. Who knows, right?
Fortunately, they're not even playing this week, Joe.
Sure, agreed. Again, more narratively, you look at Justice, you look at Dallas again. Who's Dallas's main tank? Fearless. I know we're big, high on Fearless right now. I get it, guys. 100%.
High on people again, yeah. Okay.
We are high on people that aren't named Molly because Molly won't ever play. But yeah, Fearless, Mag. What do they look like on weird picks? What do they look like on Orisa? Do they play Hog? I don't know what that looks like. If this is going to be a grab bag of mystery heroes, good players still are good, but there's a lot of just random talent that is going to shoot up the ranks. You know, we could be looking at a team like Paris in a very different light after June Joust because of a strong hero pool for them, just like we did the Washington Justice last year. Right? There's a real possibility that this is just a shakeup, and we can throw a lot of what we've mentioned about these teams in the past in the garbage, at least for now. I look at Glads, I look at Justice and Dallas in particular as teams that I'm like, I don't know what to expect. I should expect a lot of good things. I should, but with Ryan gone, with Winston, that feels like I just don't think Winston has enough help. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't think he has a dive buddy. I get
which is also currently the lore that we're in for Overwatch as well, as Winston just doesn't have enough help. He's trying to put the team back together.
True. Wow, that was beautiful. Well done.
For you lore nerds, you're welcome. This is your one every year that you get.
I don't see it. I see Ball as being the better dive tank in a way. If that's something that somebody wants to play, and even then I'm a little hesitant on it. I think this, especially in the West, coming off of Rush, I think this is going to be very slow. Maybe it could be brawly like it was last year in playoffs, where like it's just like only spears, no shields, and you just have Hog and Zarya, and it's just a go meta, and you just scrim everywhere. It's a possibility. But is that something you want to see Fearless on? Is that something you want to see Mag in? Or is that something you want to see Gesture and Super in? Right? Like, I think there's a weird place that this meta is that could go. I don't know. I know I proclaim myself as a tea leaf reader, but this is a weird one. This is a weird one.
Oracle? Yeah, that's what it is.
Doomfist, no Sombra. It's a possibility. I think it's very map dependent. When you look at a lot of flat maps like Junkertown, Rialto doesn't strike me as a super strong Doomfist map. I think teams like Dallas could run it, but is that going to be enough? What else do you pair with Doomfist? Is that where you really want to run Ball? I don't know. It's gonna get. You can do a lot here. I do see maybe where Yiska's talking about with like the Western comments that, you know, the West could be a very open meta. It could be very, very bizarre and odd and weird, and that's where a team like Houston could thrive because we've seen them perform so well in Rush. Echo, I think Echo's a big I'm gonna get back on my Echo soapbox. I believe she just got changed with her dupe so that she doesn't get a free health bar when she comes out anymore. So that's gonna get changed real fast. There's no flooded dupes anymore. Just taking Ana and taking McCree and just taking health bars just for the sake of not dying. That can't happen because you're coming out at 4 HP and you're just gonna get killed. Yeah. It's tough to really plant my feet anywhere. The only thing I see with this is it's going to be slow. I don't see a whole lot of dive being successful, rather.
The thing is, like, the 1% where I was like, I don't know, like on average, this looks like ridiculous, is the Toronto-Boston match for me. Like, John, can you bring up the percentages again? Like that
Wow,
looked dummy
Boston.
thick to me.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are underselling Boston.
Like those are almost equal teams in my mind.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, not
No?
equal, but I think they have the potential to be equal. Yeah. I think we've got to see something.
73-27 is
Yeah. I
like-
mean,
that's dumb.
It's disingenuous.
I feel that's dumb. Like I feel like that's Boston.
I think the Paris Justice
Easy.
match is dumber. 91-9
really?
for Paris with a new player.
I mean, it's.
I don't think it's that crazy.
I
Yeah,
think
I think Justice is a good team. I think they should perform. But again, if this is going to get weird, I don't put it past a team like Paris to like take them to game 5, right? We've seen them literally in a meta that they looked good in drop a map to the Vancouver Titans. Not a good look. Now you're shaking up the bag and going, okay, Mag, play something different. Okay, give me something a little bit more coordinated. Or maybe less. Who knows, right? Like it could go either way. I'm not confident in going 91-9. Those are some odds right there. Those are some great odds if you're trying to get some money.
Oof, yeah, depending on what's been run, that's a mag on Winston, dude.
Could be.
Like,
I would bet against it. I've been wrong in the past though. So
You try to erase that history from the Tactical Crouch history books.
Hopefully. Yeah, I'm concerned with some of the top teams that like didn't make it necessarily. And Dallas. I don't know why I'm still concerned about Dallas, but I am. I shouldn't be.
Yeah. Are we done? Are we through all of our stuff?
Other than being kind of excited about live games, yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think we could just go through a quick prediction, like lightning round of the week.
Do it.
For sure.
Lightning round. West starting, just so you guys can get it all there. Defiant versus Eternal.
I'll take Toronto close.
I take Toronto pretty decently.
Okay.
I gotta lock this in too.
Mayhem versus Spitfire.
Mayhem.
All right. Justice versus Eternal.
Justice.
Outlaws versus Rain. You said you're gonna say Justice too, right? Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just skipped right over.
I'm just opening my pickems just to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Houston versus Rain.
It's going to be a close one, boys.
Yeah. I like these teams too. I wish we could see this last month.
I think that's the first good match of the weekend, by the way. No. That's actually Dragons Hunters, but yeah.
It could be good. It could be very bad.
Yeah.
I'll go Houston close.
Yeah. Same.
Okay. Defiant Boston.
I feel like Boston's gonna bite me in the ass here. I'll go Toronto close.
Yeah, I went 3-2 and would probably go 55 or 60.
Yep.
Okay. Rain London.
Rain.
Yeah. Not that close.
Justice Boston.
Justice.
Justice, yeah. 3-1. I got
And then
probably like 65-35.
Mayhem Outlaws.
Oh, Jesus.
I gotta go Florida. I have to go Florida.
I mean, at this point, I think you have to. Yeah.
I think I could be swayed with the performance, but going into it, yeah, I think I look at Florida as being, again, the meta Polaris. I think you always look at Florida and you can kind of see what things are going to be playing.
It's also one of those games that you change your preds on based on what you see this weekend, right?
Yep.
And then late on Sunday, you just change that stuff up.
You flip it and then you get it wrong and then you kick yourself.
Yep.
So based on that, you guys agreed on every match and chose the one that was favored via the betting odds for every match as well. Thanks for the insight. Great.
Yeah, nice.
The bettors are super happy
Okay.
as well.
I
listen,
remember
we go to
having some
Asia.
spicy ones in Asia.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I get it. You're gonna overcompensate the other way now and make a
No,
bunch of stupid
I will.
choices.
No, I will. I will.
Bunch of stupid ones. Let's go to the east here, and we're gonna start with Guangzhou versus Hangzhou.
Okay, I can't be spicy here. I think this is Spark.
Yeah, I think they are the team that showed promise first.
Yeah.
Based on the head coach
Change.
leaving. So yeah, that's a spark. Yeah, especially if Shy plays.
That's right.
Why does Shy not play, dude?
Yo, speaking of, stay tuned to the end of the show for some interesting Shy news.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, are you leaking?
No. Leaks. Only content.
Oh, huh?
You gotta wait. Okay? Gotta wait. Next, Shanghai Chengdu.
I
Let's
will
go.
be here at the end of the show. Shanghai versus Chengdu.
I think this is another Chengdu. I think
What?
I think
Chengdu.
Chengdu.
No.
I think Chengdu
No.
plays well in hero pools. This is meant for Chengdu.
Joe.
This is collusion at its
Why?
finest right here.
Man,
Again, that's a
no. Nah,
That's a joke.
that's a 3-1 Dragons.
This is a 3-1 Chengdu.
Oh no, Joe. Why is he already he's back to Chengdu Bob? Oh, guys, please. I don't
Hello,
have
comrades.
the strength for this.
Where are my
Okay,
hunter comrades in chat?
he's back.
Rise up.
He's back. Kenobi got you back.
Come on. They're playing Hog.
Yeah? And that means?
And that means shit's gonna get weird.
Sure.
Uh-huh. Do you like Shanghai at the beginning of last meta?
No.
Because I remember that Chengdu gave him the fucking business. They were smoking on that Dragon's pack.
You know who also got the business at Amelie?
Your mom next.
True, yes.
Wow, dude. That wasn't cool.
Yes, the
Jesus
Dragons
Christ.
did give Chengdu the business in the standings, but I think this early, I think with how crazy things could get, I'm expecting out of the Chengdu Hunters, I'll even call my shot. I think it's going to be Hog and Ball Torture with a splash of Farah. Just saying.
Doug, fire. I don't know. I have to say it out loud. I don't care about it. I don't care about the advertisers now. Fire but just going, Moon gonna come up with some dumbass shit. And that's my spirit animal for this week. Because this is so true. It's actually insane.
Moon's the type of coach to throw Erster in a couple maps this week.
Sometimes it's Moon, you know, the stage winning dominant, and sometimes it's Moon, dude. Like the Moon howling, like I don't know, like pants on head guy that just like us, like why is this player playing instead of the other one, dude? Like yeah,
Stage
I don't know.
baby.
If Fleta is playing this weekend, let's say that.
No,
And
Fleta
that
isn't
might
gonna be
destroy
playing.
my soul, by the way.
Erster's going to come in and Molly's going to play, and they're going to play double flex.
Bro, oh.
That's some Moon shit. Shout out to Moon, by the way.
Yeah, no, that will happen. Yeah, something like this. Yeah. Jesus.
All
Yeah,
right.
but I go.
There we go. We finally have a disagreement, and we finally have someone going against the odds here. Philly versus NYXL.
I want to say NYXL, but fuck me, dude, they suck last month.
Yiska. Somebody screenshot that face, please.
Yeah, right. He looks like he's constipated. Giving some prunes.
I'm going NYXL here.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have this here for a while.
I can't. They're so bad. But that maybe could be okay because they have some good DPS. Oh, I have to go Philly. I have to. I think it could be close though. I think there could be an upset.
Weakness.
NYXL didn't show me anything, man. NYXL literally showed me nothing. They have good DPS. Your Scrimbucks literally didn't pay off for this team 30 days
They
ago.
will. Scrimbucks will prevail in the end.
I've never seen bigger sunken cost. It's crazy.
No, it's the Scrimbucks face, by the
You're
way.
gonna die on the sandbag by the end of the season. Like, no, they were
100%.
they're gonna get there. The Scrimbucks from literally 12 months ago are gonna pay off finally.
Yep. Yakpong will have like,
boomed. Let's face it.
pant pockets without holes in him, so the spaghetti can't like flow down his legs, and we'll get it. They'll get it.
All right.
No, it's Philly. This is Philly.
Which one of you bots are gonna mess this one up? Shanghai versus Hangzhou.
Nah.
So let's just say, for the sake of saying things,
This man hates Shanghai. They made the final, dude. Come on, man.
Yeah, but
my God.
They're playing hog, bro. Anything goes. What do you not get? Okay, listen.
This is a fever dream, dude.
Let's. I have to set up some big asterisks. Okay. Let's say we get some moon shit. Let's say they start slow. We do like Shy, don't we, chat? We do like Shy. We like Gusha. Like that deep ass roster. We got 12.
Did you say wait for Shy content at the end of the show because John has to shut it down after this dumb ass shit that you're about to say? Oh, Jesus Christ. Keep going.
I don't think it's that crazy, especially with how I think Shanghai's going to perform in their first match. That Spark could take a close 3-2. I'm just saying, we like 12 players. We like a crazy hero pool. We got a lot of tools. We like Shy. Shy's pretty good. Just saying.
I'm almost at a heart rate of 100, dude.
I know that's not true.
Fleta might not even play.
I know it's not true. You showed us a screenshot before we started the.
Yeah, but look at this.
It might be different now.
Look, it's
100.
She brought me to 100.
To be
I'm
fair,
dying because of this man.
to be fair, I think that making the
I also just woke my
his
neighbors up.
face is what
Yeah, he
makes
did.
you shoot
Yeah,
anyone
true for real.
right
Like
up.
literally, like rushing the blood to your head.
Yeah, your face isn't meant to move like that. I don't think.
Face yoga.
Keep going. Yeah, I also
Yeah, I
hate
think that's it,
finals. I absolutely despise it.
I don't hate finalists, but if it's going the way I think it might, I think there's a world where Shanghai gets upset.
I like how Joe's justifications for his picks so far today are moon shit and hog. That's it.
Why?
done. That's it. NYXL versus Guangzhou.
Oh, boy, this is gonna be messy. Fuck.
It is going to be.
Do we know
what?
who? It's gonna be messy.
Lionel?
Bro, do we know that Charge has a head coach yet? Have they signed anybody?
That's why it's not messy.
You're telling me the team that went what 0-4 and barely took maps is gonna get clean all of a sudden?
I'm really upset.
I
that
can't
didn't
with
get
this
a
kid.
response from Yiska on that one.
Dude. Oh my god. I didn't even get my second COVID shot yet. I'm already having fever. I'm like,
Oh, I gotta get that in a couple days. Oof.
it's mine's tomorrow. Jesus.
I'm waxed and vaxxed, baby.
Dude, it took me like a week to get over the first one. I'm a gigantic.
No, you're still not over it. Very obviously you aren't. By the way, they're 1-3.
Oh, sorry, 1-3. My bad. What did he do? Beat the Valiant?
I can't remember.
I actually don't remember who NYXL played. I'll look right now.
You already killed too many brain cells. Like, I can't remember.
They beat the Spark. Okay. Oh, big,
Right.
tough Spark with not playing their good players.
Man.
Glad you guys spent a lot of time
Keep piling on.
into
keep piling.
making these predictions ahead
Yeah,
of time.
what's your prediction, you goon? I'm saying New York. And it's going to be messy.
Yeah, of course it's going to be New York. And it's going to be 3-1 New York.
No, this is 3-2.
And
it's
even
a
though
fiesta.
there's a possibility that Guangzhou also improves significantly this weekend, it's like, I don't know. Scrimmax, baby. Woo!
Yeah, can I get some hate on this kid? Because he just keeps throwing up the hot.
I don't even know why I do this. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, it just became a thing like 5 episodes ago, and I'm just sticking with it. I'm just going with it. I'm writing it to.
I think this is an absolute like 40 man.
That's the hill I'm dying on. I set a respawn point on top of that hill. Scrimmax, like, keeps respawning. I'm on my 12th life, playing Returnal basically with this take. Scrimmax, baby. Woo!
Oh God. Okay. Philly versus Chengdu.
Chengdu. I think this one's. I don't think this one's that much of like a meme. I think Chengdu, as long as their first game isn't completely a wash, I'm concerned with some of the scrimbucks. Even though they performed well last month, I think they overperformed, and I don't know that you can necessarily expect that same style or expect that same polish. Let's say.
Okay, so I'm going to out myself as being really bad at my job. Okay. I'm also going to possibly ask a stupid question.
Mm-hmm.
Does Rascal still play for this team?
Yeah, he signed for the season as a whole.
Really?
Pretty.
Because
sure.
to my knowledge, it's only Hotba and Toby that have been signed for the rest of the season. Those guys were in the announcement.
I don't think he was.
Now it's possible that Rascal's announcement was already like initial announcement was already for the full season.
Yeah.
But that would sort of like maybe Christopher misspoke in our interview that we had, but like to me it sounded like that was a 30-day contract too.
Eric says yes, no new announcement. I don't think Rascal was on a 30-day.
Yeah, I don't think he was on a 30-day. From my understanding, he was signed before a lot of the 30 days. So April 7th, Hoppa rejoins the team. April 8th, Toby joins. I think they were very clear in the announcements. Okay, they weren't clear. Never mind. Yeah, I think Rascal's season long. I could be wrong. I think he's just on like the base 1 season contract.
Yeah,
I believe so.
I'll look that up for you guys. Like this is
pull up the juice.
that I don't know that. Yeah.
I mean, it is tough to. I think it'd be appreciative of the teams, or it'd be appreciated in the future if teams could be a little bit more clear on how long you signed your players, because it is not easy to just recall off the top of your head, especially when it's like, oh yeah, we re-signed Toby.
Because in my from what I heard, EQ was going to be the first player that was going to be from the West that's coming in.
Sure, I get it.
So that, in my mind, that meant okay, they don't need Rascal. Now that would have been an unceremonious goodbye.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm not sure I'm probably wrong. I feel like I'm wrong. So
do I.
I feel like that would have been more of a. Can I just say that sucks? Like that we don't know that for sure. Maybe it's strongly implied that maybe I'm just wrong and like completely messed the message. But
unless I'm on some good shit that I don't know about, unless I'm actually high on Molly, I believe he's still on that team. Whether or not he plays, if EQO's still in the, if he comes to Asia and is finally there and can play, that's a question that Hero Pools is gonna really put a hamper on. Maybe it's tough to say. We have to see what's played. There's a possibility that Rascal doesn't play. EQO has been a fixture in this team and has seen stage time for a reason. I don't think you keep around a player this long for no reason at all. Same thing with Sato again. Speaking previously. So yeah, I still go Chengdu. Where are you going? Where's your prediction?
I gotta put some. I had Chengdu, but now I'm feeling bad because I feel like I'm not putting enough respect on 9K. This is a tough one though. It's not a bad match to lose.
No,
that's also one that you change after you saw both teams play for sure.
Yep, 100%. If it gets real messy in New York, Philly, and New York actually looks good, Philly could be in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, there's no.
Can I just, guys? So I just want viewers and listeners to hear the pattern here. John Ask Question says, pick a team.
I picked my
Both
team.
both men over here arrogantly, spastically pick a team. Confidently, whatever. We get through the whole list. Everything. Bunch of just flat out statements are said. And then for the next 20 minutes, after we've done all the pickems and everything, we spend another 20 minutes then qualifying every pick that they just made.
Hello. It is I.
Welcome to
Qualification
Tactical
Man.
Crouch.
We should just put asterisks around our title. Just framing it. Because that's all we do. We frame.
Yep. But because what could be worse than our egos being proven wrong?
Correct.
Honestly, your ego is being proven right.
True.
Having sat through that,
Yeah.
the opposite is much worse. Oh, man. All right. Well, we got to get out of here, though. Big thanks to everybody for hanging out today. Hope you had a ton of fun. Hope you enjoy the matches this week. And, of course, come hang out with us in Discord, discord.me/tacticalcrouch. And join us. There's generally always people in the watch party room whenever there's games live. It may not always be us there. Yiska usually skips out on the late NA games. Joe just does whatever the he wants. I'm usually playing Valorant, so
That's
you
fair.
know, whatever. But yeah, come hang out with us for that. Big thank you to our new patrons. Chonk updated their pledge, becomes a patron producer. Thanks so much, Chonk. You're a beast. Thanks again. And a big thank you to our patron producers: Refined Bean, Ferdino, Battlecrab Lotion, Rex Zane, Sir Girthalot, Porkchop Sammy, Kash67, Char, Nathan Your Misery, Fabled Steven, Roger B, Chris R34444, Bronzebot, Boo How, Hotel Bravo 11, Hunter Tane, Yiska's Opera Scented Shower Gel, and Chonk. Thanks so much for supporting the show. We really appreciate it. If you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/tacticalcrouch. That's where you should go. That's what you should do. You can also leave a sub right here, twitch.tv/Kickedtripod, but not for long. So after that, I don't know where the show will be streamed. Maybe you guys want to stream it on my channel. I don't care. I might be going over and streaming at YouTube long term on my own personal stuff. So who knows? But we'll have news for that for you next week, where to find the show. Nothing else will change. Same YouTube, same RSS feed. None of that is changing. Just where the show might be streamed. So, yeah, let's do some shout outs for the week and where people could find you. I'll go first. Nothing. But follow me everywhere at Kickedtripod.
No resub into WoW? Oh, TBC?
Probably not. I was thinking about streaming, and then I just got really tired even just thinking about it.
It is exhausting. I get you.
I've got a new video I want to do, though.
Ooh.
So,
Okay.
another new nerdy.
That's worth
audio
shouting
video.
out. Stay tuned.
Probably sometime in the
audio.
next 1 to 12 weeks. You'll
There
see
you
a new
go.
video on my channel.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it for me. Joe, shout outs for the week. Where can people find you?
You can find me on all the socials at Volamel. So the big shy thing, I've been kind of hounding some of the Asian teams to try and get some interviews. And I finally got Spark, after being put in the trash bin. We have Shy on record answering questions, so that will be a piece of content coming to you on a publication yet to be determined. I feel like you could probably guess where, but I still have to pitch it, so I'm not going to confirm anything. So yeah, Shy interview coming, hopefully by next week, because I'm going to be dead, probably, with my COVID firmware update. And yeah, probably when the games start, I'll be kicking back up the old 1 minute analysis. And yeah, just kind of easing into June Joust and taking it as it comes. So yeah, stay tuned. Check out the Houston piece too, if you're a Houston fan, which you might be. Who knows?
Sweet. Yiska, what about you?
Speaking of Houston fans, sat down with Dante for one of our milestone formats. So milestone is basically where we sit down with a personality or a player in esports, and they walk us through how they got where they are, outlining like the most important aspects of their career and where they saw those breaking points. And I sat down with Dante, and what comes through, like, there's a bit of juice in there for sure if you listen to it, but what also comes through is that this team was really confident in their performance, and they were really confident that they were able to beat the Shock. And what do you know? They beat the Shock and went 4-0 in the started stage. So as you could probably tell by his hair color, this was preseason. Yeah. But it's also just interesting to see how, like, from my understanding, like, one of the best Minecraft YouTubers at the time, like in terms of PvP, just eventually found his way into Overwatch, and then like not just how he progressed in his career, but also as a person, because like a lot what you heard when like Shock initially came together was just like, I mean, this kid burns water, basically, like when making noodles, basically, right? And how that process went and how our players also growing as adults is really interesting to see, and probably also interesting. Like, I know our demographics, you're probably in that age bracket somewhere in there as well, and it's probably like good to see that people that excel at a particular skill have this very same challenges that you face, right? And I think it turned out really well. Also, thanks to Dante and the Outlaws for that process, because it's like that self-reflection always, like, it's a little bit more private, and you gotta be willing to do that, right? So
For sure.
I think it turned out dope. It's also not as dry as it sounds, as I make it sound, because I'm a dry idiot, and like it's more like funny than it is tragic, but there's also some drama in there and everything that you want out of esports, basically.
Woo! All right. We're going to get out of here, chat. Thanks so much. Make sure to come hang out with us next Wednesday at noon Pacific, twitch.tv/Kickedtripod. Other than that, we'll see you this weekend for some games. Be safe out there. Support your local restaurants. And,
I'm taking so much takeout, so much.
Yep. We got there's a place here in San Jose that makes they do amazing breakfast burritos, and
here we go.
so if you order
Sounds so
from
good.
like, you know, you can order from like DoorDash, but DoorDash is just, they jack up the actual menu prices of things, even if you're doing pickup, and it's just kind of really weird. But other services, in this case, Chow Now, doesn't take like any profit or any revenue from local restaurants, at least right now during COVID, for people doing pickup. And so this place, we try to order from Chow Now from this place, and they were really nice, and they gave us a whole loaf of cinnamon bread as a thank you. And I'm like, that's really nice, but the reason why I ordered here is so that you could get more money, so that you know, like, I want you to have the money. That's why I ordered from them. But then they're like, yeah, but we have extras anyway. It's fine. Like, we'll end up having extras anyway.
Is it like swirly?
Kind of swirly.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, it was really
Is
good.
it ice on top?
It's weird. It's not like icing, but it's like the best. I would call it like sugared on the outside.
Sugared.
In the sense that it's like the outside is sweet. You definitely want to lick it. It definitely gives you the feeling that it's iced on the outside, but it's not like drizzling icing on the outside.
Not like a royal icing.
Yeah, it's not like a cinnamon bun kind of thing.
Cinnamon sounds good. Also, opinions on Little Debbie, by the way. Did I ever ask you that?
What?
Seems like a nice person. I hope they're
Little
the best
Debbie
in life.
snacks. Sean, you shut up. Little Debbie snacks, John. Fan?
I get Little Debbie and Hostess mixed up. What is Little Debbie?
Oh, Little Debbie is like the cosmic brownies and like the Star
Love
Crunch.
Cosmic love Star. I guess I'm a big fan of Little Debbie.
Let's go.
I guess I'm a big fan of Little Debbie.
I'm having to hunt for Little Debbie fans.
Cosmic brownies are the
Yes, they are. Thank you.
I'm not
Correct
going to lie. cosmic brownies means something very different in German.
Up.
You just want to sometimes, Yiska, I think you just want to hear yourself talk.
He goes, this kid's high on all kinds of stuff, and he's high on cosmic brownies. Shout out
I'm
to
not
Level 10.
denying that you guys have the same high.
I mean, don't get me
Joe's
wrong,
high
I
on a
think
lot of
Cosmic
things.
Brownie is probably... There may have been like legal battles over the use,
Oh yeah. The best.
but
Little
all
Debbie
that-
slaps.
all that to be say, Little Debbie over Hostess.
Yeah, I think so. I can't name you a ton of like Hostess snacks, but I can name you a whole bunch of Little Debbies.
Ho-Hos,
Ho-Hos and like Twinkies. Isn't that
Twinkies,
Hostess?
and then the cupcakes with the swirl on top.
Ding dongs. I think that's what they're called.
Are they called? Are they ding dongs?
I think so. Yeah, Refine Bean. Shout out to you. You know, you're a snack food connoisseur. Little donuts. I don't know that I've had those. Little Debbie snaps. That's all I'm saying. You know, get the muffins. Little blueberry muffins.
Oh,
Pop
the mini
those.
muffins. Oh, dude.
Yep. Yep.
Why can't I lose weight, guys? Yeah. They're just Hostess cupcakes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, Hostess is overrated. Go Little Debbie.
Dude, Cosmic Brownies. I want one now.
Get the little peanut butter waffle wafer. I keep
And
wanting to
he's
call them
back
Nutter
to
Butters,
Reese's
but they're not.
cups. There you go.
Nobody actually gets like the Reese's meme. I don't think anybody's been around long enough to get the Reese's
I'm
meme.
entertaining myself so well. What can I say?
Anywho, don't let
see
me
that
derail
top-
this again with snack foods.
Did you see that Taco Bell is making an all-white chicken taco shell?
What?
Like the
Why?
shell of the taco
Is
is
chicken?
made out of white meat chicken, fried chicken.
But why?
Oh, I'm seeing it right now. It's immediately on my Twitter feed.
They're listening. Oh,
I don't hate it. I
Shut
don't hate it.
up. You don't get to give us the weird eye regarding our snack food choices and go, oh yeah, fried
Well,
chicken
more
tacos.
like the
yeah.
names. More the names. That's something you guys have to decide between you and Jesus.
Honey buns. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. You already know. Honey bun and a coffee on the way to work.
Honey buns used to be, I remember in high school, there were
Mhm.
59 cents. You could get a
That's how
honey
you know
bun
something's
and
real healthy.
something. Yeah, it's just like
You buy something edible for 59 cents.
you buy
the
the
epitome
cheapest,
of
you get the
vitality.
cheapest bread possible.
Yeah.
And then douse
Is
it
it
in
bread?
the cheapest synthesized sugar possible.
Yep.
And then put it in the thinnest, most damp plastic wrapper possible.
It is damp.
And that's a
that
honey
shit comes
bun.
out wet.
That, yeah, it's
It's not good.
in and out, if you know what I'm saying.
Keeps you regular. Just saying. Just keeps you right on a schedule. Is it a good schedule? Hey, that's something between
I was
me and
gonna
Jesus.
say, it's messed up many a schedule for me,
Sure.
I would say. Anyways,
Oh, fuck. Too funny.
this show took a turn. This is one of those shows that we have nothing else to say but don't want it to end. We just kind of
We're just on one.
Yiska wants it to end.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just enjoying the music.
He also might be on a cosmic brownie right now, so we don't know.
Yeah, still on that runner's high a little bit. Not gonna lie. Looking forward to the shower.
All right, chat, we're out of here. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time. Bye.